If you're looking for a new way of creating totally unique grooves and insane polyrhythms, keep watching, because I'm going to show you how to use this Reaktor creation, which is absolute genius, and it'll help you make beats that will make your head spin. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video, as I'll be making an announcement that you don't want to miss. Let's get going. This is Deadbeats, as you can see from the name down here, and it is a genius Reaktor ensemble that I just had to show you guys. One of the gems from the user library that you dig up every now and again and you think, how did I miss that? This is one of those. So it's a Groovebox sampler, and it makes it real easy to create unique rhythms that sound really jagged and broken and jittery, but still somehow manage to gel and sound coherent. So lots of different polyrhythms and such like, which you'll see as we get into it. So it's great if you're looking to go beyond the ordinary 4/4, which is, not necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to spice things up and take things in a different direction, Deadbeats is going to make it real simple to just introduce all kinds of different time signatures, and you're really going to be able to add a new dimension to your grooves and beats. So let's have a listen to what it can do with some of the presets, and then we'll take a deeper look at the GUI and find out exactly what's going on here so you can start using it yourself. Some good examples there then of what Deadbeats can do. Definitely not a natural sounding drum machine, but definitely good for more electronic genre like IDM, techno, house, minimal, that kind of thing. Definitely great for those. So it might look a bit confusing at first with all these green and black squares, but like with most things, when you know what's going on, actually quite simple. Like I said, it's a sample-based groovebox, and what we can see here, we've got 7 lines running left to right. So this is just the top line, and there's 6 more underneath it, and each line has its own sampler, and it's got a 16-step sequencer, which is this, and you switch the sequencer triggers on and off simply by doing that, and we'll come to the green squares shortly. And when you press play, you can see the little playhead move to show you exactly where it's at. So let's run this example so you can see exactly what's going on there. There you go, quite simple. I'll introduce you to the first feature, which is mute. I'm going to mute all of the other lines below the top one. So that's this button here that will mute everything that you don't want to hear. And just to keep things simple, we'll work with just the top line. And what we're going to do is work from left to right, because that's a nice logical way of doing it. And when you know how to work the top line, you will know exactly how to work all of the lines underneath. So over here on the left, we've got the step size, which is actually the speed. I don't know why it's called the step size, but if you start with 1/8, that's quite a slow pace. And they get gradually faster up to 32. So that's actually the speed. Then we got the length of the step. So we're going to work with an 8-step sequence, and let's just do every 4 like that. So very simple 4/4 pattern. Slow it down a bit. There we go. So like I say, you switch on and off with the button there. Let's take a look at the mystery of the green squares. It's actually quite simple. It's a bifunctional trigger, by which I mean the horizontal. So if you click and drag just horizontal, that's the volume. So that's at full volume, and let's put this at half or something like that. Click play, and the first will be loud, the second will be quiet. Very simple. And the vertical is actually the cutoff frequency for the type of filter that you select from here. So you can have none, a low pass, and a high pass. So it's very clever, very simple at the same time. So if we leave it at none, obviously no filter, but let's put a high pass on here, and we'll reduce the cutoff, full volume but half cutoff. And same here with the lower volume. So there you go. That's how the filter functions with this rather clever bifunctional trigger here. I think that's really neat and a good way of keeping things nice and tidy. Below that we have the sample selector. So each sampler is loaded with 10 samples. Just click the drop down and pick your sound. Let's go with kick 10, and let's put them both at full velocity, full frequency. Actually, let's turn the filter off. Here we go. That's how you select the sample. For each one of the 7 samplers, there's a different set of samples, and you can use your own. And check out the video linked in the description, which will show you how to load your own samples in any Reaktor ensemble. So that brings us to these 2 knobs here. Pretty self-explanatory. You can tune the sample up and down, and you can pan it left and right. Double click will center. So let's just play with that a bit. There you go, very simple basic stuff. And things get a bit mysterious here. This is where you can modulate the pan and the pitch. And there's no further control over that. You click the button and the ensemble does its thing, so it makes it a very random process. I like to keep my kicks nice and simple and central, just like that. And then we've got the volume control here. In a nutshell, that's all of these 7 samplers. That's exactly how they work. So let's take a look down below. This is where some of the more fun stuff starts. We've got a master output with indicators there. We've got a very simple drive function. And we can introduce some shuffle, which is always great for genres like house, which need a nice bit of shuffle to them. And these 2 functions here, the randomize and the morph, that's where things get really fun. To demonstrate exactly what's going on here, I'm going to unmute all of the other samplers. So we've got all 7. And let's pick one of the presets that come with the ensemble. Let's go with hard shuffle, and this is what that sounds like. And it's because the shuffle is full hard to the right. Now, when you click randomize, it is going to randomize pretty much every parameter here. And when I say every, I mean samples, filter, tune, pan, everything. So you start off with a beat, click randomize, and it totally changes everything. And as with these things, it may be awful, it may not work at all. It may serve as a springboard for an idea for you to program your own beat into it, but it's very random. So let's see what that one did. Yeah, that's not very good. So you just click through And there you go, there's a random beat just on the fly. So very simple, just click randomize, and if you like what you hear, save it as a preset. If you don't like it, just click randomize again and something good is going to turn up. And that brings us to the second piece of genius, which is the morphing. And this allows you to very cleverly morph between two presets, or snapshot as it's called in Reaktor language. All you need to do is pick one of the presets. Let's go with dubby thing, and we're going to set that to X, which is on the left hand side. Now let's pick steady bounce and we'll set that to Y. And what should happen is, if you look up here, it's showing dubby ting, and we'll morph across to steady bounce. And this is what it sounds like. So let's start with the hard left, which is just dubby ting. And as we move this across, it's going to gradually, there we go. So it's really just a question of playing with it, setting which X works with X, Y, and then morphing and just creating hybrid beats, polyrhythms on the fly. Such a fantastic little tool. That's the GUI. You should have a basic understanding of what does what and how to use the randomizer and the morphing function. But the real fun with this sampler comes when you start using different time signatures on the 7 different samplers. So I thought we'd just create something from scratch just to demonstrate how easy it is to do that. Let's mute all of the lines but the kick line across the top. And I want to keep things simple across the top here. Let's go with a simple slowish tempo there, and we're going to put the kick to trigger every 4th beat on a 4/4 tempo. No tuning, no pan, and that should just be a basic 4/4 kick drum. Lovely. And what I'd like to do is pair that with a snare that's working to a different time signature, an odd time signature, but the same tempo. We'll keep it at 16 and we'll run it at 7. So it will only run through 7 of the steps and keep looping. And let's go with step number 5. Turn that full volume, no filter, and we don't want any mod. Turn the tune down a bit because that's probably going to play a bit high pitched, but yeah, that should work quite nicely with the kick drum. There we go, 2 different time signatures working together there. Actually, I want to slow that down a bit. That's coming in a bit too often. Add a second one with reduced volume there. See what that sounds like. Yeah, that works better. And finally, let's just add a nice hi-hat. Let's turn all of these off. And let's put it at 16, and we're just going to run it nice and simple, just a single hi-hat triggering every 2 steps. And actually, let's modulate the pan so it's going left to right. And let's see what that sounds like all together. Let's just change the signature there to a 3. Back to a 2. So that is Deadbeats, a fantastic tool for creating all kinds of polyrhythms, jagged beats, everything that you've seen there. Absolutely great for techno, house, all kinds of electronic genres. Link is in the description. While you're at the user library, make sure that you leave a nice comment for the creator, because without the creators we wouldn't have a user library and we wouldn't have fantastic pieces of kit like this to use for free. I said at the start of the video that I'd make a quick announcement, and thanks for sticking with me this long. I've created a sample pack of 10 different beats, 10 different time signatures, lots of good stuff in there. That's available from my Patreon, which link is in the description below. I've also created a premium pack of another 50 different beats. It doesn't contain the 10 from the basic pack. Again, lots of different time signatures, lots of good stuff in there. And within the premium pack, I've also included a bunch of different samples that I used to make the 50 unique beats. And I've also included the Reaktor sound bank so that you can just load it straight into your version of Deadbeats. So that brings us to the end of the video today. Hopefully you like Deadbeats and you can see that it's a great tool. If you got value from the video, and I hope you did, why not like, comment and subscribe, because as they always say, it does help the channel. But for now, why not watch one of the 2 videos that YouTube is very kindly recommending for you, and I'll see you in the next one.